and welcome back to Sinsheimer Stadium for Game 2 of this doubleheader. The Blues dropped Game 1 by a final score of 5-3 in 7 innings, and now we've got a 9-inning game to decide potentially the playoff picture and the rest of the season for the Blues in this matchup between San Luis Obispo and the Orange County Riptide. Good evening, everyone. Once again, I'm Jack Smith here on the SLO Blues streaming network as the Blues need a win, and we're going to kick it back to the field quickly for first pitch, which is being thrown out by a robot.
Getting into place, I'll remind you it's the principle of the San Luis Obispo Blues to foster a family-friendly atmosphere, allowing for the continuing growth of quality baseball here on the Central Coast. To that end, spectators are asked to support their team in a positive manner and treat opposing fans and players with respect. Profanity, racial slurs, or otherwise unruly behavior will not be tolerated. Violators will be removed from the facility, and we thank you in advance for your cooperation. So this is the throwing robot. I think we're going to have a catcher, someone with a mitt, right? Okay. Oh, look at this. Our bat boy is coming out to do that. This is Trevor Bergen. All right. Am I talking to the robot or am I talking to the handlers? Let's see. He's done some practice. Is it a he or a she robot? I don't know. Or an it? What are the pronouns for this robot here? I mean, it's blinking lights on us. It's Jack Smith. Is that the wind-up? Is that what that is? Oh, look at that. All right. That's a lot better than the Wallowitz robot that we saw. Our thanks to the...
Well, we've already got some entertainment here from Sinsheimer Stadium, and we've already had a full game that has gone on so far here today at the home of the Blues. As we mentioned, SLO dropped Game 1, a final score of 5-3. So that they now sit 8 games back at first place. They're 15-18, and they are tied in the standings with the Conejo Oaks, who are in action right now against Santa Barbara. That score right now in the bottom of the 4th inning is 3-1. So if the Oaks go on to win that game, the Blues really need to win this one, or else they will not make the postseason. An Oaks win here tonight, as well as another Blues loss, means the Blues will be eliminated no matter what happens tomorrow in Santa Barbara. So a win is paramount in this one, really whether the Oaks win or not. But if the Oaks are able to win and the Blues go on to lose, it'll be the end of the playoff hopes here at Sinsheimer Stadium. We're going to kick it back to the field and introduce the starting lineup for the Orange County Riptide. No national anthem for this game, so we're ready to get started around this time here at Sinsheimer. Here's a starting lineup for the visiting Riptide here in Game 2 of this doubleheader. Bryce Blazer, the left fielder from the University of North Carolina, leads things off. Daniel Garotti moves from shortstop to third base. The Oregon product will hit second. Aiden Garcia, the catcher from Golden West College, hits third. Reese Chapman, the center fielder from Tennessee, is in the cleanup spot. Connor McGuire, the second baseman from Cal Baptist, hits fifth. That's Ethan Felix, the DH from UC Davis. Harry Arbolito, the right fielder from Houston. Grant MacArthur from first base from San Joaquin Delta College. And Cooper Dulick, the shortstop from Creighton. We're going to take a break as the Blues take the field here on the SLO Blues streaming network, and we'll have first pitch on the way. The Blues are warming up here for the first inning. Doubleheader, Game 2, final game here at home of the season, and a game with a lot of stakes as the Blues, after losing Game 1, really need to come away with a win here in Game 2 of this doubleheader to keep their playoff hopes alive. We already saw the lineup for the visiting Riptide. The starting pitcher today for the Blues is Chris Stewart here in Game 2. The University of Houston left-hander has a 6.75 ERA across 13 and a third innings pitched so far, but he was excellent his last time out as the Blues headed down in their previous doubleheader to the Academy Barons. Stewart got the start, had by far his best outing of the summer. 6 innings, allowed just 7 hits, 2 earned runs, ended up getting the loss as he allowed 6 walks, but he skirted around some danger and had by far his best outing as a Blue. And San Luis Obispo, in desperate need of a win, are hoping that he can continue that here in Game 2. Starting defense for the Blues is Rulli, Lewis, and Hicksonbaugh in the outfield from left to right. Hansen and Price on the right side of the infield. DiCarlo and Darcy the left side. It's Matt Spear the catcher. Zach Tollerman DHs. Big changes for the Blues here in Game 2. Hansen in at first base for Mastiangelo, who gets the game off. Jake Hicksonbaugh is in right field, and Sam DiCarlo, a surprise shortstop, making his first start there for the Blues here in 2023. It's been a hectic day so far. We've got 9 more innings of baseball at the very least coming up here on the SLO Blues streaming network, and we're ready here for the top of the first. Game 2 here between the Riptide and the Blues after Orange County took Game 1. Bryce Blazer, Daniel Garrotti, Aiden Garcia due up here in the first, and Chris Stewart will look to limit the damage and lead the Blues to a win here in the second game. The crowd has thinned out slightly, but they are back here for Game 2, and we're just about a second away from first pitch. Here he comes, and Bryce Blazer, the left fielder from University of North Carolina, takes a strike. It's 0-1. First pitch of this second game, 7:21 p.m. Temperatures have cooled off a bit. They're right in around the mid-70s. 0-1 from Stewart, and Blazer takes a slider off the outside corner, 1-1. Blazer did not play in the first game here today, but he got the start yesterday in left field. Had a walk, a double, and a single. Finished the day 2 for 3. The 1-1, and Blazer takes well inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. So we've talked about the stakes. The Blues, if the Oaks hold on to win, they're up 3-1 on the Santa Barbara Foresters right now. The Blues can't afford to lose this game if they still want to make the playoffs. Blazer takes outside, 3-1 the count. And a big part of that will hinge on how effective Chris Stewart can be in the strike zone. 18 walks across 13 and a third innings so far. He's also hit a myriad of batters. His last time out, he was more around the zone, and that's what the Blues need here. There he pours in a fastball over the hardwood plate for a strike. It's 3-2. Blazer, Garrotti, Garcia here in the first. Full count here to the first batter in the second game of this doubleheader as Stewart set at the belt. From the windup, he kicks and deals. And Blazer takes outside. So it's a leadoff walk for the Tar Heel. A runner at first already, and nobody out. We will keep you updated on the score from Conejo. Right now, the Foresters have brought across another run, so it is now 3-2 the Oaks lead. Still in front, but the Foresters have struck for 1 in the bottom of the 4th. So here's Daniel Garrotti, the third baseman from Oregon. Garrotti started the first game here today at shortstop. Had a single, was hit by a pitch, reached on an error, and now he plays third, hits second, and takes a fastball in the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Blazer a leadoff first after his leadoff walk. And Daniel Garrotti at the plate. The 0-1 offering. Garrotti swings and chops it on the ground to short. First try for DiCarlo as the Blues shortstop. He goes underhand to second for 1, and the relay throw to first is a little too high, so just the 1 out. Fielder's choice there for Garrotti, and it's interesting to see Dean Traynor with Cato Harris sick and Cody Darcy shifting over to third because JT Ricken is getting this game off. This is the third-string shortstop for the Blues, and it's Sam DiCarlo. And in a big game, first time that we have seen DiCarlo at short. He's been relatively a good defender at second base, but has struggled as of late, so we'll see if he can handle the transition. A clean play on his first attempt, and now with 1 away, Aiden Garcia comes up. Pitch on the way to the catcher from Golden West, and it's a slider over the heart of the plate, 0-1. Garcia, again, did not play in the first game. A relatively new lineup here in Game 2. Catcher hitting .279 with 7 runs batted in this season. So he takes outside here on the breaking ball, 1-1. Reese Chapman waits on deck, also got the first game off. There are only a handful of players in this entire Riptide lineup that are playing both games today. You have Garati, who leads off the first base bag, Ethan Felix, Kerry Arbolita, and Cooper Dulick. So just 4 of the 9 returning here for game 2. 2-1 now the count on Aiden Garcia. The Golden West catcher has 9 walks and 10 strikeouts with 12 hits and 43 league at-bats. Stewart kicks and fires, and Garcia takes high, 3 balls and 1 strike. The home finale, and this time it's for real, the final game here at home for the Blues in 2023 on the final day as the second part of this doubleheader. 3-1 the count here on Garcia as Stewart delivers, and Garcia lifts it foul and out of play. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
I think that was probably way past the barbecue pit. The kids, if you can find it, you can take it home. Thanks to our free foul ball sponsor, Big Brand Tire.
So a full count, a runner at first is Daniel Garati. He reached on a fielder's choice. The payoff from Stewart, and it's outside in the dirt, and it's another walk. Garati all the way around to second. He might try and go to third as the ball skipped away from Spear, but the Oregon shortstop, turned third baseman, puts on the brakes at second. 2 walks here in the first inning, first and second with 1 away. And one of the big keys for the Blues, because they need a win so badly here today, is they cannot afford to let the Riptide get out in front. Really, in the blink of an eye in Game 1, it was 4-0 Orange County. Ended up being a 5-3 final, so the Blues responded pretty well on the hill, but it was too little too late for the Blues offense. And with Chapman, a big run producer, coming up, it's imperative that Stewart may be able to work a scoreless inning, but just cannot allow a lot of runs early in this game. Chapman swings and grounds it on to Darius Price at second. Price turns and throws to first for the out. So Chapman bounces out for out number 2. And now it'll be Connor McGuire, the second baseman from Cal Baptist, to bat, with runners at second and third and 2 away. Connor McGuire got the game off in the first game as well. The team leader in hits and batting average has the average down to .316 after an 0-for-5 day yesterday. Has 5 runs batted in and a chance for a couple here. Second and third with 2 away. It's Garati at third and Aiden Garcia at second. Swing and a ground ball right back up the middle and through the middle of base hit. 1 run in to score. Aiden Garcia coming up right behind Garati, and he slides in safe. A 2 RBI single here for Connor McGuire, and right back on top, the Riptide up 2-0. Well, in the blink of an eye here again, the Riptide a multi-run lead as they strike while the iron is hot. They get to Chris Stewart here in the first inning, and it's Connor McGuire who picks up RBI number 4 and 5, and just like that, slowed down by 2. And now Stewart off the bag. The check goes to third. They were trying to see if the runner Garcia missed third base, but the ruling is that he did not. So with 2 away, a 2 RBI single here for McGuire, and the Blues will play from behind. Here's Ethan Felix, who went 3 for 4 in the first game. The DH takes a fastball on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Really, before this game even fully got underway, the Riptide right back in front, score 2-0. Stewart from the stretch, kicks and fires. And a swing and a ground ball off of the mound. Stewart comes off. He throws low to first, and Hansen able to stay on the bag for the final out. A 2-run first for the Riptide, and the Blues have work to do on offense. Same thing as the first game, a 2-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the first. We welcome you back here to the bottom of the first, and the Blues are coming up for the first time, trailing 2-0 here in Game 2 of this doubleheader. Here's the starting lineup in the second game for the Blues. It's Jacob Ruley, the Blues left fielder, that leads things off after a 2 RBI, 2-for-4 game the first time. Jake Ixenbaugh right behind him plays right. Jariah Lewis hits third and plays center. It's Matt Spear, the catcher, who cleans things up. Then Jason Hansen, who has shifted over to first base, hitting fifth. Sam DiCarlo, the shortstop, at sixth. Bottom third of the order is Zach Tollerman, the DH, Cody Darcy, the third baseman, and Darius Price playing second. On the hill for the Orange County Riptide here in Game 2, it's Connor Kinney, the right-hander, undecided where he's going to school, but the Rancho Santa Fe native has a 1.64 ERA across 11 innings so far for the Riptide. First pitch to Ruley is a curveball over the heart of the plate for a strike. It's 0-1. 2 runs for the Riptide in the top half of the first inning. They got a 2 RBI single with 2 outs from Connor McGuire. They've picked up right where they left off, as Ruley takes outside with a fastball all the way to the backstop, 1-1. Ruley had a big hit in that 7th inning, which was basically the 9th in the first game of the doubleheader. Knocked in 2 runs batted in, and as the tying run put himself on base, but the next pitch, Cody Darcy popped up to end it. Ruley bounces this one foul, 1-2. So the Blues left fielder battled, and on the 11th pitch came up with a 2 RBI single, but Cody Darcy was first pitch swinging and popped out in foul territory to third base as the Blues lost. And here Ruley barely catches a piece to stay alive, 1-2. Kinney in 11 innings so far, 8 hits allowed, 7 strikeouts, 4 walks, only 2 earned runs. This his first start. His previous 7 appearances all out of the pen. 1-2, and Ruley checks his swing on a curveball that misses low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Contrary to the first game of this doubleheader that only went 7 innings, this one is set to go 9 or above if it goes to extra innings, but not another 7-inning game. This one misses low, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So, payoff pitch on the way here from Connor Kinney. Here it comes. And Ruley nubs it on the ground towards third. In comes Garrotti on the infield grass. He makes the throw in time for the out. The starting defense here today for the Orange County Riptide in Game 2. It's Bryce Blazer in left. Reese Chapman starting in center. Kerry Arbolita moves from DH to play right field. Grant MacArthur gets the start at first base. It's Connor McGuire at second. Cooper Dulick shifts from third to shortstop. Garrotti moves from short to third. Aiden Garcia does the catching, and it's Ethan Felix who DHs here in Game 2. Jake Ixenbaugh up to the plate now. The right fielder from Monterey Peninsula College takes low. 1 ball and no strikes. Ixenbaugh did not play in the first game. This season carries a 208 average, 6 walks on the year. Kinney kicks and fires, and Ixenbaugh takes low. 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 offering. Ixenbaugh swings and bounces it the same way Ruley did, to third as Garrotti makes the sling across throw. That's out number 2. So Kinney 2 quick outs here in the first, and now Jariah Lewis will come to the plate. Jariah Lewis, the center fielder from San Jose State, was on deck when the game ended here earlier today. An 0-for-3 game in Game 1. Kinney back atop the hill, Riptide donning the orange uniforms for the second straight game. As the reliever turned starter kicks from the windup and misses low with the fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. A 1-0 home. Lewis takes low again, 2 balls and no strikes. So Kinney, a guy that will pitch to contact for the most part this season with just those 4 walks in 11 innings, falling behind a couple of hitters here. Another 2-0 count. Ixenbaugh bounced out. We'll see what Lewis does. Pitch on the way, and Lewis swings and misses. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Blues are now even with the Conejo Oaks, both 15 and 18, but the Oaks are in action right now. Game headed to the bottom of the 5th. Conejo leading 3-2 against Santa Barbara. 2-1. Swing and a miss. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Kinney a strike away from a 1-2-3 first inning here in Game 2 of this doubleheader. Lewis collects, steps back in the back of the left-handed batter's box, and awaits the 2-2. Kinney kicks and fires, and he misses low with the changeup. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So the count full to a speedy hitter. The Blues would love to get Lewis on and bring Matt Spear the tying run to the plate. The payoff pitch. Lewis strikes out swinging. A 1-2-3 first frame for Kinney as we head to the second. 2-0 the Riptide lead. Top side of the second here from Sinsheimer Stadium, a 2-0 Riptide lead, and the bottom third of the order coming up for Orange County. Carey Arboleda, Grant MacArthur, Cooper Dulick against Chris Stewart, who's looking for a scoreless frame here in the second after allowing the 2 in the first. He deals, and Arboleda takes a fastball down the middle. No balls and 1 strike. Arboleda did get the start in Game 1. He DH'd. He's now moved to right field. Had a 2-for-4 game. The 0-1 on the way. And Arboleda swings and nubs it foul, straight back off of his own foot. No balls and 2 strikes. When Stewart is on, it's that pitch that you can really tell. When he can place the slider and work that off of his 90-mile-an-hour fastball, he's at his most effective point. The 0-2 home. There's the slider again. It's just a little bit outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2-0 lead for Orange County. They added on early in the first game here today. Trying to do so again here. Arboleda takes in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 walks in the first inning by Stewart. Also 2 hits for the Riptide. 2-2 the count as Stewart comes set from the windup. The lefty kicks and fires, and he misses outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 the count. Stewart sets the belt. Payoff pitch on the way. Arboleda rolls it on the ground to short. Sam DiCarlo plays the big hop, throws to first in time for the out. Got Arboleda by a step, and there's 1 away. So 2 shots now for Sam DiCarlo at shortstop, but he's looked just perfect in his first 2 attempts. Was able to get the fielder's choice at second his first time, and now he throws out Carey Arboleda to start the second inning. Looking like a natural shortstop out there. Grant MacArthur, the first baseman from San Joaquin Delta College, will come up now. MacArthur, first game today at least, played in yesterday's game and went 1-for-4. Got the day off in Game 1. 225 hitter so far with a home run, 6 runs batted in. Stewart's 1-0. MacArthur takes a fastball in the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. MacArthur, 6'4", 240-pound corner infielder, an Alpine, California native. That 1-for-4 day yesterday with a strikeout down near the bottom of the order. 1-1. Here he takes a slider for a strike. It's 1-2. It's MacArthur, then Cooper Dulick, the 9-hole hitter, who's on deck. One-two on the way. MacArthur flies his bat. He threw it as he popped it up, and no one ran after the baseball. I think everyone was so caught up in the fact that MacArthur lost control of his ball and threw it towards his bat rather, and threw it towards his own dugout. No one chased what could have been a routine foul pop-up. So still a 1-2 count as MacArthur applies some pine tar, and a second life for the first baseman from San Joaquin Delta. Stewart pins his glove against the front part of his chest, and now comes set 1-2. From the windup, the lefty delivers, and he struck him out. Back to the slider, MacArthur down on strikes, and there's 2 away here in the inning. So the first strikeout from Stewart gets MacArthur down, and Cooper Dulick will come up to the plate.
Show them your program and claim your slow heat from Bon Ton Creole Cafe.
Cooper Dulick played third base in the opening game here today. Now he is the shortstop in Game 2. The 9-hole hitter went 0 for 3 in Game 1. And now facing Stewart, he checks his swing at a slider. He did not go around. Ball 1, 1-0. One-0 count, 2 outs now in the second inning as Stewart looking for a 1-2-3 frame. He kicks and deals, and a fastball just a little off the plate inside, 2-0. Blues play the middle infield back for Cooper Dulick. DeCarlo and Price heels on the outfield grass. Ready for a hot shot with 2 outs. The 2-0 on the way, and Dulick takes the fastball outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Leadoff man Bryce Blazer is on deck. The left-handed hitting left fielder walked to start the game. .3-0 home is off the outside corner. A 4-pitch walk with 2 outs and a runner at first with 2 away. So that's the third walk afforded by Stewart so far. It was a problem even in his best start against the Academy Barons, where through 6 innings he walked 6. Eventually only gave up the 2 runs, but the walks were an issue that he had to work around. He was able to do it, though. That was the difference between his last start and some of his other appearances. Couldn't work around the walks in the first inning and allowed the 2 runs. And now he'll try and strand the runner at first with 2 away. Second time facing Bryce Blazer. Blazer, the left fielder from North Carolina, takes outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Blazer, a 184 hitter so far with 2 runs batted in this season. He does, though, have 13 walks after his base on balls in the first. Stewart deals 1-0. Blazer gets a fastball and he swings and misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. The runner at first, Cooper Dulick, after his 2-out walk. Still 2 away here in the top of the second. Stewart from the stretch, the 1-1 home. And Blazer takes a slider perfectly placed for a strike. It's 1-2. So Stewart trying to get the Blues back in the dugout and keep the score just 2-0. SLO will have 4-5-6 coming up back on offense. Dulick gets his lead off first. Middle infield pinches near the bag. And Blazer checks his swing at a slider. Did he go around? He did not. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just able to hold up as he swung near the 50-50 zone on the slider on the outside corner. And the count evens up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stewart lifts and fires. This time, Blazer strikes out swinging. Fully went around to the slider, and Stewart gets 2 strikeouts in the second to strand the runner. Heading to the bottom half of the inning, still a 2-0 lead here on the SLO Blues streaming network. Home half of the second here at Sinsheimer Stadium. Still a 2-0 lead for the Riptide, but the Blues are up for the second time. It'll be Matt Spear, Jason Hansen, and Sam DiCarlo, the middle third of the order. After the Blues went 1-2-3 in the first, the San Jose State catcher makes his first appearance on the day. Spear squares to bunt and then takes a slider in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Really the first time I would say all season that we have seen Matt Spear square around, but the third baseman Garotti is playing so far away from home plate that Spear not afraid to lay one down. 1-0. No square, and he takes low. 2 balls and no strikes. Spear, a .239 hitter so far this summer. 2 home runs, 6 runs batted in. Did not play in game 1. Here he swings, and it's a high drive. Right field, hooking, foul. Spear caught it off the end of the bat a little bit and was way out in front of the changeup. Hit it well, but could not straighten it out for a fair ball. 2-1 the count. Kinney kicks and deals. Spear takes outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Rulli and Hicksonbaugh bounced out to third to start the game before Lewis struck out. Kinney got that 1-2-3 inning and now behind 3-1 to the 4-hole hitter. Pitch on the way, and Spear lifts it foul down the line. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Blues still looking for their first base runner here in a must-win game at home. Kinney from the windup comes set. Face buried in his glove, he deals, and Spear bounces it right back to him. On the backhand, he spins around, makes the long underhand flip to first for out number 1. So with 1 away, Jason Hansen will come up to the dish. Hansen, the first baseman from UC Davis, DH'd in game 1. Went 0 for 2 with a walk. Also played in yesterday's contest at first base, and now he returns to first and hits 5th. 1 out in the bottom of the second. Kinney squares. Hansen squares to bunt as well. Pitch just missed a little bit low. 1 ball and no strikes. We'll see if the Blues actually lay one of those down. Hansen hits a high fly ball into left field. In comes the left fielder Blazer, and it hangs up as he makes the catch. Hansen, another one I think caught off the end of the bat that if he squared it up a little more, might have had a chance to get it over the head of Blazer. But instead, because it was off the end a little bit, it just kind of lofted its way out, and Blazer able to make the catch. So 2 outs now in the inning. And the home run hero from game 1, Sam DiCarlo, will step up.
39, Sam DiCarlo.
DiCarlo played in the game earlier today, 1 for 3, a big home run that got the scoring started for the Blues. They just couldn't add enough after his homer. But he had a big towering shot to left field, 395 feet to left center. Kinney looking for back-to-back 1-2-3 frames. Set 1-0, he deals, and DiCarlo pops it up. Sky high on the infield near the pitcher's mound. Everyone comes in. It's going to be the third baseman Garotti who climbs the hill and makes the catch. And Kinney wanted no part of that fly ball. Walks out of the way, let his defense make the play, and he goes 1-2-3 again. Heading to the third, still a 2-0 lead for Orange County here on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Daniel Garotti leads things off here in the top of the third inning against Chris Stewart. Squares to bunt and lays it down foul over the head of the catcher, Matt Spear, 0-1. It's 2-3-4 in the order for the Riptide with a 2-0 Orange County lead. Garotti, Garcia, and Reese Chapman here up by 2. Check back on the score here between the Conejo Oaks and the Santa Barbara Foresters. It's the top of the 6th. The Oaks have a runner at third, but still the 3-2 lead. That's a swing and a miss here from Garotti. No balls and 2 strikes. So we'll see if the Oaks are able to bring that one more run in, but as of now, they still do lead it by 1. Stewart kicks and fires 0-2, and he misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Garotti reached on a fielder's choice on a ground ball to short in the first inning. Eventually came around to score the first of the 2 runs scored in that frame by the Riptide. The 1-2 home. Here he strikes out swinging. Another slider from Chris Stewart, who is spinning it very well here today. And he's got strikeout number 3 and out number 1 here in the third. Aiden Garcia to the plate now. The catcher from Golden West walked in the first and scored the second run. He was one of 2 walks in the first inning by Stewart. Chris has walked 3 hitters so far. A left-on-left matchup here with 1 out in the third inning as Stewart kicks and fires. And a curveball breaks over the heart of the plate for a strike. It's 0-1. Garcia, Covina, California native, stands 5'11", 195 pounds in the back of the left-handed batter's box. And an 0-1 on the way. He takes a fastball on the outside corner, 0-2. This past season at Golden West, Garcia tore the cover off the ball. .395 average in 42 games played, launched 5 homers, and knocked in 41 runs. Stewart delivers, and he struck him out. 4 strikeouts for Stewart, and he's back to the slider for out number 2. Well, Stewart wants to keep the Blues in the playoff picture. Despite giving up the 2 runs in the first, he's now got 4 strikeouts, and that's 3 in a row, all with the slider. And now Reese Chapman comes up with 2 away. Chapman, the center fielder from Tennessee, grounded out to second in the first. Center fielder trying to get things started here with 2 outs as he takes outside with a slider. 1 ball and no strikes. Chapman back in the box. And the 1-0 home. Takes a slider on the outer half for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Chapman entered this game with a .286 average, 20 hits and 70 at-bats, 4 homers and 21 RBI to lead the CCL South, but his average is below 300 for just the second time this season after the Blues handled him pretty well yesterday. And here he swings and misses 1-2. Chapman went 0 for 4 yesterday. He's 0 for 1 so far, so in this series, still looking for his first hit. Stewart a strike away from striking out the side. As he comes home, here's the 1-2. And Chapman, did he go around at the slider? Did he go? No! Wow, the entire infield has started running towards the first base dugout. Spear even got up to tag Chapman, but the call is that he did not go around to the slider. And so we'll do it all again, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stewart set at the belt. From the windup, he kicks and delivers. And now he struck him out. 3 strikeouts here in the inning for Stewart, who goes 1, 2, 3 to bring the Blues back up. Bottom of the third coming up here on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Zach Tollerman to lead things off for the Blues here in the bottom of the third. And the former Cuesta College infielder takes a strike. In the portal, Zach Tollerman. He is DHing today. And he comes up for his first time in a while. Hasn't played in over a week. So he takes an 0-1 fastball for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Last time that Zach Tollerman played, it was July 18th against the Riptide. So 11 straight days without playing. Back in the lineup after dealing with a small injury. And he swings here and lines it up the middle. Right over the head of Kinney, who goes into a crisscross applesauce seating, I don't even know what you would say that, arrangement on the hill. Tollerman literally sent him into a cross-legged sit, and he's got the Blues' first hit right off the bench, and after injury, Tollerman's aboard with nobody out. So now Cody Darcy comes to the plate. Darcy played in Game 1. It was a game to forget. 3 strikeouts in his first 3 at-bats, and he came up with the tying run aboard, himself representing the go-ahead run in the 7th inning, and popped out on the first pitch to end the game. Gene Trainer has moved him down the lineup, maybe in hopes of sparking something for Darcy here in Game 2. And the count is 0-1 after a slider hit the zone. Darcy lost his 4-game hit streak with his 0-for-4 7-inning game. And now comes up with a runner at first and nobody out. Kinney from the stretch for the first time. Kicks and deals. And Darcy takes outside. It bounces off the catcher Garcia and all the way to the Blues dugout. So Tollerman advances 90 feet to second. It's 1-1 the count, and the Blues have a runner in scoring position for the first time. Wild pitch from Kinney, who is working from the stretch for the first time because he went the first 6 up, 6 down before allowing the hit to Tollerman. And now he'll face Darcy, an RBI opportunity for the Arkansas State third baseman. And Darcy's knocked in 6 so far this year. 1-1. Here Darcy takes a fastball that handcuffs him on the inside corner. 1-2. Visibly upset with himself. Darcy knows that's a pitch he can handle, and he took it for a strike, and now he's behind in the count. 1-2. Tollerman gets a lead off second as Kinney stares in for his sign from Penso and comes set. Glove perched just underneath his chin. He deals, and Darcy takes the fastball low. He went around. Wow. A late call by the home plate umpire that says Darcy swung. And maybe they said it was a strike initially, but there was no strike call, and there was no appeal down either. The home plate umpire just said Cody Darcy went around, and he strikes out for the 4th time here today, and now there's 1 out. But really a late call. So here's Darius Price, the second baseman from Cal Poly Pomona. Price did not play in Game 1. This season he's hitting 143 with 3 RBI. Pitch on the way. And Price hits a fly ball to center. Racing back Chapman, the center fielder. He now camps under it and makes the catch. Tollerman tags from second, heading to third. He'll make it in there with ease as Chapman's throw is cut off by Dulick. So a fly ball moves Tollerman from second to third, but that's out number 2. Back to the top of the order we go for the Blues. Jacob Ruley will step up with a runner at third, 2 outs. Ruley grounded out to third his first time up. Tollerman a couple steps off the bag at third as Kinney looking for 1 more out to end this inning. Strand the runner as Ruley takes a curveball for a strike, 0-1. Ruley now 2 for 5 on the day. Had the 2 RBI in the 7th inning of the last game, which it was only a 7-inning game, so it was a huge at-bat. Came up with a 2 RBI base hit on the 11th pitch of an at-bat, but the Blues lost on the next pitch. Kinney sets, now he deals, and Ruley takes the curveball, a nice block from Garcia to keep it in front, 1-1. Blues have Tollerman at third, 2 outs in the inning as they trail it by 2 here in the bottom of the third. Zach Tollerman 90 feet away from scoring the Blues' first run as Kinney looking for yet another scoreless frame in his first start of the summer. From the stretch, he deals, and Ruley flies it foul down the right field line. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The fans that are still here, and there's still a lot of them, chase after that foul ball on the grass, and it was almost a rugby scrum to try and pick up the foul ball. The kids, the last chance here in the home finale to take home a souvenir. 1-2 to Rulli. Here it is. And he takes in the dirt a curveball that slightly bounces away from Garcia, but close enough that Tollerman can't score. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, the kids have just been one of the highlights of the entire season. This is the last home game, at least of the regular season for the Blues. And the kids have gotten every foul ball, and they always get to bring them home, and they're just a ton of fun. 2-2. Rulli pops it up again, and another souvenir.
First base side, that one's right back behind the portables.
Really, no matter where a kid is, too. They can be all the way down the third base line, and a foul ball will go down the first base line, and they all think they've got a chance to get it. And I think that's one of the most endearing parts of a Blues game. Another 2-2, and Rulli strikes out swinging. Went down for the changeup and caught a piece of air for out number 3. So Kinney picks up 2 strikeouts. He strands the runner at third, and we head to the 4th inning. Still a 2-0 lead for Orange County here on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Connor McGuire to lead things off here for the Riptide. Still a 2-0 lead for Orange County here in the top of the 4th. And the second baseman from Cal Baptist, who's 1 for 1 today, gets a second crack at Chris Stewart and takes a slider high, 1 ball and no strikes. Through 3 complete innings, the Riptide in front, just as they were in the first game. An early lead for Orange County, trying to come away with a win here and maybe keep the Blues out of the playoffs. As a pitch there on the outside corner with a fastball from Stewart, 1-1. Stewart gave up the 2 runs in the first inning. Walked 2, had a pair of hits against him. But since then, he has struck out 5 of the 7 batters he's faced. And now he's behind in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Stewart has the strikeout stuff. We've talked about it all season, and it's about the command. And across these last 2 innings, he has been a lot more precise. The lefty committed to transfer to Houston, kicks and fires. And a pitch there a little bit low off that inside corner. 3-1 the count. McGuire singled in the first. That was the biggest hit in this game so far. In fact, the only hit by the Riptide. A single up the middle that brought in both the runs. The 3-1 home. And McGuire takes a fastball on the outside corner, strike 2 call. Middle infield plays back for McGuire. He went that way last time. Massiangelo, the first baseman, well off the bag. Or Hansen, rather. Payoff pitch from Stewart, and he struck him out. Fastball in the inside corner. That's 5 strikeouts in a row for the Houston lefty, and there's 1 away here in the 4th. An unreal stretch here from Stewart, who has struck out the last 5 that have come to the plate. He has K'd 6 of the last 7 hitters, and the only blemish across that span was a walk to Cooper Dulick. And now he'll face Ethan Felix with 1 away here in the 4th. Felix takes a fastball a little bit low off that outside corner, 1-0 the count. The DH from UC Davis, after going 3 for 4 in game 1, grounded out to the shortstop Sam DiCarlo his first time up. A 1-0 offering. Felix swings and lines it straight back, 1-1. We mentioned earlier today, Felix entered the game, game 1 that is, 1 for 19 on the season. He went 3 for his first 3 in game 1. The 1-1 here. It's a slider that doesn't really break much. Off the outside corner, 2-1 the count. So the UC Davis first baseman, who'd been struggling all summer, one heck of a game in game 1, and I think he's hoping it carries over here in game 2. The 2-1 pitch. Felix takes a slider for a strike on the inside corner, 2-2. Another late call by our home plate umpire. And Stewart had to wait another beat or two to figure out whether it was a strike or not. And he's looking to strike out 6 in a row. 2-2. And Felix takes a slider inside, thought about swinging at a pitch that almost hit him, but leaves it in. Another full count. The last time when Connor McGuire was up, the last batter, Stewart went to an inside fastball. We'll see what he goes to here. Another payoff on the way, and he misses inside for ball 4. So Felix stays patient. He draws the walk. Runner at first with 1 away. With Felix aboard, Kerry Arbolita will step up to the dish. The right fielder from Houston grounded out to short back in the second inning. And now he bats a runner at first base, 1 away, a 2-0 Riptide lead. Top of the 4th here in the second game of this doubleheader on the home finale for the Blues. As Arbolita takes a fastball spotted up for a strike, it's 0-1. The 34th league game of the summer for the Blues, game 47 overall. 0-1. Arbolita swings and chops it foul. Really the first time in a while now that we have seen much contact against Stewart. He's gotten some swings and misses. He's obviously got those strikeouts, but there haven't even been many foul balls. No balls, 2 strikes. Stewart set at the belt from the stretch. He kicks and fires. Right back to the strikeouts. Gets Arbolita down swinging. Had that little blemish to Ethan Felix, but the 7th strikeout here for Stewart. 2 outs here in the 4th. I think Stewart knows this is the last home game for the Blues this season, and he realizes, hey, there might be a good amount of hot sauce bottles that are still around. Let me just strike out everyone so that the Blues can give them away. Seven strikeouts in the last 9 hitters, and Stewart is an out away from getting through the 4th. Batter is Grant MacArthur, who takes a fastball high, 1 ball and no strikes. MacArthur started that strikeout train when he struck out for the 2nd out in the 2nd inning. Since then, Stewart's been rattling them off. 1-0 home. MacArthur swings and loops it into left. Coming in, Jacob Rulli, he dives, and it trapped it. He didn't make the catch as Jacob Rulli comes up, throws up the what do you mean with his arms, but it drops for a base hit, and MacArthur comes up with a knock, 1st and 2nd with 2 away. An excellent diving attempt from Jacob Rulli, who tried to snare it on the dive, and even from here, up here in the booth behind home plate, sitting above the field, you could tell that Jacob Rulli did not catch that one cleanly. Dean Traynor is out to argue no matter what. So is the Riptide coach out from the 3rd base dugout. And Traynor will go to bat for his team here in the final game at home, one of the final league games. That even if Traynor knows something, he's going to try and argue in favor of the team. Because right now, the Blues need every break they can get. As of right now, the call on the field is that Jacob Rulli did not catch it cleanly and that he trapped it on the dive. It'll be 1st and 2nd with 2 away.
Tomorrow in Santa Barbara against the Foresters. You can listen to that game at bluesbaseball.com. Jack Smith.
So Traynor gets the umpires to at least meet, and we'll await what the call is. On the out-of-town scoreboard, back to Pershing Park. In the bottom of the 6th inning, the Foresters have tied things up against the Oaks. It is now a 3-3 game heading 2/3 of the way through the game to the 7th, but a big run put on the board by Santa Barbara as they tie things up against the Oaks, and we will keep you posted on the turnings of that score. Umpires still discussing this call out in left, and clearly there's some deliberating going on about whether Rulli caught the ball or not. If he did, it would be the end of the inning. If not, 1st and 2nd with 2 outs. And the call stays the same. So Jacob Rulli does not come up with a catch. And he'll return back to left field. First and second with nobody out, and the batter will be Cooper Duelik. It would be huge for the Blues, despite what happens in this game. They really need Santa Barbara to come away with a win against the Oaks. It's not a complete need for the playoff scenarios, but it would be big if Santa Barbara could come back and beat Conejo, especially if the Blues aren't able to win in this game. It's imperative. So the only way that the Blues can be eliminated from the playoff picture today is if Conejo wins and the Blues lose. That's the only scenario in which tomorrow's game doesn't matter. As Duelik flies things off foul, 1 ball and 1 strike. The Oaks will head to play the Academy Barons tomorrow. It will be at home for Conejo in Thousand Oaks at Sparky Anderson Field. And San Luis Obispo will travel on the road to play the Santa Barbara Foresters at Pershing Park at 2 p.m. 1-1. Duelik takes a slider for a strike, 1-2 the count. Duelik, the shortstop from Creighton, walked his first time up. And now a second chance at Stewart, first and second with 2 away. Fans continue to bellow out hot sauce. Stewart has doled out plenty. Can he pick up another strikeout here to end the 4th? He sets, fires, and misses slightly inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stewart so far 7 strikeouts, looking for an 8th here to end the 4th inning. 2 runners aboard. It's Felix at second, MacArthur at first with 2 outs. 2-2 on the way. And he misses inside again with a slider. Duelik tried to get hit as he turned his back and leaned his hip out towards the slider, but it skids past into the glove of Spear, and now a full count. Runners will be off on the pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Felix will take off for third. MacArthur will be off for second. Stewart sets the bell. The lefty comes set and fires. And that's bounced on the ground. Darcy gives ground, and it's by his legs into left field. And now it bounces off Rulli. In to score is Ethan Felix. The throw back to second, and it's an out there, but the Riptide get on the board. It's a 2-out base hit for Cooper Duelik to knock in a run. Blues get out of the 4th, but as we head there to the bottom half of the inning, it's 3-0. With the sun setting down the right field line, the sun setting on the home slate here for the Blues. It's the finale here in front of the Sinsheimer faithful. Game 2 of this 2-game doubleheader, and SLO trails it now by a score of 3-0. And they're outpacing Connor Kinney for a 4th inning. Hicksonbaugh leading things off, and it starts with a fastball in the outside corner, 0-1. So far against Kinney, the Blues have managed 1 base runner. It was a single by Tollerman in his first at-bat in over a week. But other than that, they have struck out 3 times, and they've still yet to put across a run. 1 ball, 1 strike the count on Jake Hicksonbaugh, who grounded out to third his first time up. Here he takes a slider off the plate outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. It's Hicksonbaugh, Lewis, Spear due up for the Blues. Kinney kicks and fires. Hixenbaugh takes outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. The Blues will take a walk. They really take as many base runners as they can get here, any way they can get them. They need to find a way to score some runs here against the Riptide. Hixenbaugh swings and fouls it off. 3-2 the count.
Looks like it might be in the parking lot.
Hixenbaugh hitting just above 200 so far on the league summer. Had an excellent non-league slate where he hit nearly 500. He'll be at Monterey Peninsula College next year. Payoff pitch. Here he swings and lines it straight back. Still a 3-2 battle going on here between Hixenbaugh and Kinney. And the Riptide righty kicks and fires. Hixenbaugh strikes out swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts now dating back to last inning for Kinney. And there's one away. Batter now Jariah Lewis. The center fielder from San Jose State struck out to end the first inning. And now he gets a second shot at Kinney 0 for 1. Kinney sets and delivers. Lewis squares to bunt and takes a fastball low that bounces over the head of Garcia, the catcher. 1 ball and no strikes. Lewis, the 6', 180-pound redshirt junior from San Jose State, has played every position in the outfield for the Blues, but with Nin Burns no longer with the team at home, playing center field in both games today. He squares again and takes a fastball center cut for a strike. 1-1. Lewis started 26 games, mostly in center field for the San Jose State Spartans this past year. Hit .210 with 21 hits and 100 at-bats. 2 home runs, 17 runs batted in. A 1-1 on the way. And here he takes the changeup low, 2-1. Well, we mentioned the sunset down the right field line, and it's more than just a sunset. It's one of the more beautiful sunsets we've seen all year. Cotton candy skies with purple and orange and red hues in this light blue night. As Lewis here hits one into the night sky, high in the air to right field. Arboleda on his horse, over to his right in the gap. He makes the catch. But just an absolutely gorgeous sunset that is mostly in the foul territory down the right field line, but is slightly spilling over towards the mountains down the right field line, like deep in right field. I wish it made its way into the background here, but just a picturesque sunset out in deep right. And here the batter, Matt Spear, who takes a little bit low with a fastball, 1 ball and no strikes. Maybe a reward to all the Blues fans who have shown out in full force here this season. They get treated to one of the better sunsets that we've seen all year. As Matt Spear takes high now, 2 balls and no strikes. Spear, the catcher from San Jose State, teammates of Jariah Lewis, grounded out back to the pitcher Kinney in his first at-bat in the second inning. The 2-0 home. Spear takes a fastball off the plate inside. 3 balls and no strikes. So Kinney way behind the count. Try to come through here with a strike with 2 away. He deals, and Spear takes a fastball at the belt for a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike. The 3-1 offering. Spear swings and lifts it in the air. High to left field. Racing back to left fielder Blazer. Still going back. It's off the bottom of the wall. Off the grade mountain sign in deep left. Matt Spear into second base with a double. And that's the Blues' second hit. They got a runner in scoring position here with 2 outs. Another ball hit to left that was just put in the air and kept carrying. The wind rippling out to deep left field, and Blazer no chance to catch up with it. Runner at second with 2 away.
Here's number 41.
Nice swing of the bat for Spear, who's been swinging a hot stick over the last couple weeks. He's raised his average now above 240 on the season. It was as low as in the 150s range. Had a home run last week. He's now 7 for his last 16. And after a 1-for-2 day yesterday, has a hit today, raising his hit streak to 5 games. The batter now, Jason Hansen, looking to bring him in. 0-1 the count on the first baseman from UC Davis, who flew out to left his first time up. Another extra base hit for Spear, who's coming into his own down the stretch of the season, and the Blues looking to stack around him and bring in a run. The 0-1. Hansen takes in the dirt. A nice block by Spear, the catcher, or rather Garcia, who fell to his knees to keep it in front and keep Spear at second. Kinney from the stretch looking to strand the runner at second here with 2 outs. Spear grabs his lead. Nobody holding him on. As Kinney deals, Hansen takes the fastball for a strike. It's 1-2. Kinney's got 4 strikeouts so far, and he's a strike away from getting through his 4th scoreless inning. The Riptide righty sets and deals, and Hansen takes outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jason Hansen on the day total now is 0 for 3 with a walk. Got 3 plate appearances in the first game. Here he's 0 for 1 with that fly out to left. 2-2 the count, 2 outs. The Blues trail it by 3, and they need runs. Kinney deals, and Hansen rolls it on the ground. Onto a knee, the third baseman Garrotti corrals it, throws high to first, but the stretch there from MacArthur in time for the out. So the Blues get the double by Spear with 2 outs, but they do not bring across a run. We are heading to the 5th with a score of 3-0. Top of the 5th, Chris Stewart still up there for the Blues. He will face Bryce Blazer, Daniel Garrotti, and Aiden Garcia here in the top of the 5th inning. Still a 3-0 lead here for the Riptide, and the Blues. A longer game here, obviously a 9-inning game in the second game of this doubleheader. But still at some point need to start bringing across some runs, and Stewart's doing his best to keep it close. Bryce Blazer, the leadoff hitter, squares the bunt but takes low with the slider. 1 ball and no strikes. We've got a big score update. Santa Barbara, for the first time in the game against the Oaks, has taken a lead. It is 4-3 Foresters in the bottom of the 7th inning, as this time Blazer lays one down. Stewart a long run, and he tries to barehand it, but can't quite corral it, and Blazer picks up a bunt single. But anyways, the Foresters, who the Blues really need to beat the Oaks, have taken their first lead. So we'll keep you posted, obviously, on the happenings in that game. But right now, the Blues, even if they lose this game, if the Santa Barbara Foresters are to beat the Oaks, would keep their playoff hopes alive for tomorrow. So Blazers at first. Here's Daniel Garrotti, the third baseman from Oregon. Garrotti has grounded into a fielder's choice. He has also struck out. Stewart from the stretch kicks and deals. Another bunt attempt, and this one's slashed back to the screen from Garrotti. And I think what the Riptide are realizing is that Stewart is confident in his slider right now, and he's starting so many batters off with the breaking ball that they're trying to lay down a bunt off of it. 0-1 the count on Garrotti with Blazer at first as Stewart deals, and Garrotti chases it and chops it foul. No balls and 2 strikes. Foresters scored on a Max Ballou single, and then an error by the pitcher Charlie Adamson on the hill that knocked in Gregory Pace. Oh, 0-2 the count here at Sinsheimer. Nobody out here in the 5th as Stewart deals, and Garrotti takes the slider low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2. Garrotti pops it up. Third base side. Onto the outfield grass. The shortstop DiCarlo and the third baseman Darcy are there, and it's Darcy that makes the catch for out number 1. So I'll walk you through the scenarios again. We'll start it with the way this game is going right now. If the Blues lose, then they need the Foresters to win to keep the playoff hopes alive. If the Blues are able to come back and win this one and the Foresters win, the Blues would need either a win over the Foresters tomorrow or a Riptide loss to the, or rather a Oaks loss to the Barons. That would be just one of the two. But, as this pitch is outside, if the Blues lose this one and the Oaks win, the Blues would need both a Blues win and Oaks loss to the Barons. One 0. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. If both of these teams lose, the Oaks and the Blues, it would be that same scenario where the Blues need to win and they need the Oaks to lose. But they'd love if they can come back and find a way to win this one. They'd have a big chance at controlling their destiny tomorrow. High pop up to center. Jariah Lewis races in, and now he breaks slightly back and fights the lights to catch the pop up off the bat of Aiden Garcia, and there's 2 away.
Number 7, Reese Chapman.
Now with 2 away, the runner still at first. It's Reese Chapman who comes to the plate. So Blazer started the inning with his bunt single, but since then, Chris Stewart has done well to retire the next 2 hitters. But now he's got to go through Reese Chapman, who's 0 for 2 today, but a big run producer in the heart of this order with a runner on. Blazer takes off, a slider down low. Spears throw is a little wide, but Blazer had that base stolen as a runner at second with 2 away. So Blazer steals the bag. He's at second base. And now Chapman, an RBI opportunity for the man who leads the entire CCL South in RBI. Has 21 runs knocked in, now playing in his 18th game. 1-0. And Chapman takes outside through the glove of Spear to the backstop. Spear got it caught in the lights and couldn't corral it. Another 90 feet for Blazer. 2 balls, no strikes, and the runner now at third. Maybe Spear was crossed up there as well, but it looked like one that he got his glove to the right place, but was just a little bit underneath it, and it bounced off over his head to the backstop. So Blazer at third, and now Chapman, with the runner 90 feet away, has a hitter's count. Stewart sets from the stretch. At the belt, he kicks and fires. Chapman takes in the dirt. This one skips away from Spear as well. A play at the plate, and it's a little late. Blazer comes in to score. It's 4-0. So back-to-back wild pitches from Chris Stewart allows the run in to score. And Blazer doing it all by himself on 3 pitches, puts across a run. So Stewart now gets to focus on the batter. Reese Chapman ahead in the count, 3 balls, no strikes. Stewart doesn't want to let the Riptide start another 2-out rally. And they've got Connor McGuire standing on deck. The 3-0 offering. Chapman takes right down the middle with a fastball, 3-1. It was a 2-run first inning for the Riptide. Since then, in the 4th and 5th, they have scored an individual run both times with 2 outs. (3-1). Fastball outside, and it's a walk. So Chapman reaches base with 2 away, and now there's a runner at first for Connor McGuire. McGuire, the second baseman from Cal Baptist, a big at-bat his first time up, came up with 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs in the first inning, and hit an RBI single up the middle that knocked in 2 to give the Riptide their first lead. And then he came up to start the 4th inning and struck out looking. 1 for 2 days so far after getting the first game off. Playing second base here in game 2, and he's 1 for 2. Stewart looks to Chapman, now kicks and fires. Chapman on the move now, and the pitch that just goes straight to the backstop. So Chapman takes second. He stops there. Another wild pitch for Stewart, and a runner back in scoring position. Not the sharpest day as a whole here so far for the Blues, as well as just not a very sharp game here in general in game 2. A later start than normal. We're already past 8:30 after first pitch was at 7:20 p.m., but the Riptide have had no issues. It's the Blues who just have not been at their most focused. This pitch in the dirt as well. 2 balls and no strikes. Stewart, who has dealt with some command issues today, not as many as normal. It's coming and biting him a little bit more across these last 2 innings. After that stretch of strikeouts, he's run into some trouble, and he's allowed 2 runs the last 2 innings. Chance for another here for the Riptide, and a swing and a high fly ball into left field. Carries slightly on Jacob Rulli, the left fielder, but he backs up and he makes the catch with one hand for the final out. Heading to the bottom of the 5th, now a 4-0 game as the Blues are coming back up here on the SLO Blues streaming network. Bottom of the fifth here from Sinsheimer Stadium in the home finale. It's Brett Garcia, the new righty, who takes over for the Riptide and misses low to Sam DiCarlo with a fastball. Garcia, the Baylor right-hander, stands 6'2", 235 pounds, and he's been rather unhittable so far. A 0.0 ERA across 5 1/3 innings as he misses high here again with the fastball. 9 strikeouts for Garcia to just 3 walks. 1 run, no earned allowed over his first 5 1/3 innings. 2-0 the count here to Sam DiCarlo, playing shortstop in Game 2. Popped out to third his first time up, and here he takes a big hack and swings and misses. 2-1. A 4-0 lead now for the Riptide here in the bottom of the fifth after they have put across individual runs in each of the last 2 innings. And now the 4-0. Pitch misses high, 3 balls and 1 strike. So a 4-0 advantage for Orange County. The Blues desperately need to get some offense going, and maybe who better than Sam DiCarlo to start him off. He got the scoring started in Game 1 with a monster shot to left. Here he swings and pops it up down the first base line. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Somebody must have caught it, I guess. Thanks to Big Brand Tire, sponsoring our free foul balls.
So Garcia from La Mirada, California. He'll be a senior this next year at Baylor, and he's one of really a long line of relievers for the Riptide that has just been excellent. We saw Connor Kinney, who was supposed to be a reliever, but got a start today and go the first 4 innings here scoreless. And now Garcia takes over. 3-2, and a swing and a miss. So Sam DiCarlo down on strikes. Garcia starts his night off with a strikeout. And there's 1 away here in the fifth. One away, and now the batter is Zach Tollerman. Tollerman has one of the only 2 hits for the Blues so far today. Hit a single back in the 3rd inning, his first at-bat in over 11 days, and he showed up, lined one right back where it came from, and picked up a base knock. First pitch swinging again. He swings and misses. No balls and 1 strike. Tollerman came into this game hitting .167 with 3 runs batted in, and his last action was July 18th against this very Riptide team. Takes a fastball in the inside corner, 0-2 the count. 1 away, bottom 5. The Blues have been held in check all day by Riptide pitching. They're waiting to break through. At 0-2 count here on Tollerman. Garcia from the windup holds his glove at his belt, rings it high over his head and deals, and Tollerman down on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts start the outing for Garcia. Now 2 away here in the fifth. With 2 outs, the batter will be Cody Darcy. The third baseman from Arkansas State is 0 for 5 here on the day between these 2 games. 4 strikeouts, including his strikeout swinging in the 3rd. He was also at the plate, and the only time he hasn't struck out so far is when he popped out to end the game in Game 1 with the tying run on base. Saw a first pitch fastball and popped it up to 3rd. 0-1 the count here on the shortstop turned third baseman here today. Darcy takes an 0-1 fastball off the plate outside. 1-1 the count. Darcy trying to extend the inning. The 9-hole hitter Darius Price is on deck. The Blues trying to not go quietly here for the 5th straight inning. And Darcy swings and misses 1-2. Garcia's got a chance here to bring in the first, or to strike out the side. 1-2, and he does. Darcy strikes out swinging. It's a 1-2-3 frame for Garcia with 3 strikeouts, and we're heading to the 6th. Top side of the sixth here at Sinsheimer, still a 4-0 lead, and we've got a big development between the Oaks and the Foresters. Conejo in the top of the 8th inning, down by 1, had second and third and nobody out, and they did not score. A fly ball to right field, and the runner at third was thrown out trying to advance to home. That was the first 2 outs of the inning, and then Santa Barbara on the next pitch got a fly out by the next hitter. So heading into the bottom of the 8th inning, it is still Santa Barbara 4 and Conejo 3. Of course, that game doesn't matter as much if the Blues aren't able to win today. They would still have playoff eligibility, and they would still be in contention heading into tomorrow, but it would be a long shot for the Blues. So they need to try and find a way to come back in this one. But Santa Barbara is doing their part to keep the Blues in contention, and they are heading into the bottom of the 8th, still up by 1 on the Oaks. Here it's Ethan Felix, Kerry Arboleda, Grant MacArthur, and the 6th inning. Felix, the DH from Cal Baptist, or rather UC Davis, will step up to lead things off. Stewart kicks and deals, and Felix takes outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Felix grounded out back to the pitcher Stewart in the 1st inning, and then walked and scored in the 4th. Pitch on the way, and he takes inside here. 2 balls and no strikes. So Chris Stewart working into the 6th inning for his 2nd consecutive start. He has the 7 strikeouts. He's also allowed the 4 runs. 2-0. There's a slider poured over for a strike. 2-1. Two-one offering. There's another slider. This one's a little inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Felix, Arboleda, MacArthur as we push through this doubleheader. 13th complete inning here between these two teams today. 3-1, and Felix starts it off with a walk. So Felix has a base on balls for his 2nd consecutive plate appearance, and the Blues, who have the bullpen working, we'll see how much longer of a leash it is for Chris Stewart. It'll be Kerry Arboleda coming to the plate with a runner at first and nobody out.
Batting down number 33, Kerry Arboleda.
Well, I just looked and saw who's warming up in the bullpen, and I think I'll just give you all at home a little bit of time to warm up your ears for this one. Giovanni Blanchette, the Blues right fielder, is tossing in the pen. And maybe after this one, with the Blues down by 4, Dean Traynor would rather conserve some arms for the off chance that the Blues can win and the Oaks lose tomorrow to make the playoffs. But right now it's Blanchette who's warming up, as this one's fouled off by Arboleda, 1-1. Trainer's had to use a lot of position players over the past week or 2 weeks. And it seems like Giovanni Blanchette may be one in a long line of position players that are going to have to come into the game on the hill. Here's the 1-1. Arboleda checks his swing. Did he go around to the slider? He did. It's 1-2. So he can't quite hold up the swing. Arboleda, who went 2 for 4 in the first game, is 0 for 2 here. A ground out to short and a strikeout swinging. One-two. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Stewart, who goes back to the slider to strike out Arboleda for the 2nd straight time. And there's 1 away. Grant MacArthur, the first baseman from San Joaquin Delta College, comes to the plate now. MacArthur struck out swinging in the 2nd inning and then singled in the 4th.
If that's on your program, take it to the marketing tent. Get your bottle of Slow Heat from Bonton Creole Cafe.
Stewart looks to first. From the stretch, he delivers, and MacArthur takes off the plate outside. 1 ball and no strikes. The San Joaquin Delta College first baseman hit .357 this past season and 171 at-bats across 46 games. Hit 13 home runs and 62 runs batted in. 1-0 here, and MacArthur takes a slider outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Also 42 walks for MacArthur to just 17 strikeouts. Struck out less than 1 in every 10 at-bats and homered nearly in 1 every 10 at-bats. 2-0. Just a dominant season for MacArthur as he takes this one on the inside corner with a slider. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here he bats for the Riptide with a runner at first and 1 away. The 2-1 home. MacArthur takes inside, bends back out of the way of the slider, and then ricochets forward. 3-1 the count. Ethan Felix is the runner at first here in the 6th inning. 1 away, a 4-0 game. Three-1. Swinging a chopper foul. It ricochets off the Blues dugout and rolls all the way back to Stewart, who now has to toss the ball out of play. The count moves full, and he gets a new baseball. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Felix runs it first. Now full count here on MacArthur. The 9-hole hitter Cooper Dulick, who is 1 for 1 with a walk and a single, waits on deck. Stewart comes set. His payoff pitch is flown into right. On a line, Hixenbach comes in, and he bounces all the way by him to the wall in right field. Racing around second, heading to third. Felix, there he gets the wave, being thrown in. The ball bounces from Darius Price. He falls over, and a run comes in to score. A single and a handful of errors for the Blues. Ends up with Felix at the plate, MacArthur at third, and it's 5-0. Hixenbach came racing in, unsure whether he should dive or let the ball bounce in front of him, and he decided a little too late. It bounced all the way by him to the wall. His relay throw, Darius Price wasn't able to fully corral it. Then Price fell over, so the run scores, and Felix, after scoring, makes it 5-0. MacArthur is now at third. And now Dean Traynor comes out to the pen, and there is the call. So it seems like it's Gio Blanchette coming out, as Stewart's night, still not completely over, will stop through 5 1/3. Blanchette out of the pen, Stewart heading back after another nice outing here in the top of the 6th. We'll take a break and be back in a minute. Well, here's where things start to get a little bit interesting for the Blues down the stretch of the season. We're here in the top of the 6th inning with just one out, and the Blues are already turning to a position player on the mound. It's Giovanni Blanchette, who will face Cooper Dulick with a runner at third and one away. Blues now trail by a score of 5-0 here at home. And maybe the white flag being waved by Dean Traynor. Blues just don't have a lot of pitching, and down by 5. I think they'd rather save it for tomorrow than burn it today. Cooper Dulick nubs this one foul, 0-1. Blanchette, a regular outfielder for the Blues, one of their 2 showcase game selections right at the halfway point of the season, and he gets his first chance here to pitch. And a game that I guess Dean Traynor believes might be over for the Blues. Blanchette sets at the belt. He deals. And Dulick swings and lifts it foul down the line. No balls and 2 strikes. Blanchette spent his freshman season at St. Mary's. Did not see any action. Entered the transfer portal here in the summer and has found a new home at Fresno City College. Not as a pitcher, as an outfielder. But Dean Traynor utilizing the right arm of Blanchette here in the 6th. Infield drawn in with Dulick at the plate. A pitch on the way. Dulick swings and it's a high towering fly ball to center. Jariah Lewis camps under it. Tagging from third, MacArthur. He's coming home. Lewis is going to throw all the way through. It is just a little late. And sliding in, MacArthur makes it 6-0. So a sacrifice fly from Dulick. The Blues will check back to third to see if MacArthur tagged up. And he's out! And that's the end of the inning. MacArthur chucks his helmet, comes out of the dugout in frustration, and the call there is that no run scores. So it's just 5-0, as of course that's the way this 6th inning ends. Blanchette gets a double play, and we're heading to the bottom of the 6th. So the Blues get a little bit of help on the base running from the Riptide. The double play turned on what could have been a sacrifice fly for Orange County makes it still just a 5-run game heading into the bottom of the 6th. And the Blues have Darius Price in the top of the order for Jacob Ruley and Hicksonbach coming up. Still on the mound, Brett Garcia struck out the side in his first inning. And he misses high here to Darius Price. 1 ball and no strikes. 5-0 lead for Orange County. The Blues have already gone to the position players on the hill, trying to find a way to scrape across some offense against this Riptide staff that has been oh so good today. 2 balls and no strikes. Garcia from the windup. He kicks and deals. Price chases that fastball up above the zone. 2-1 the count. Darius Price so far today, it's his second plate appearance. He flew out to center back in his first. For the 2-1 home. Price swings and misses. 2-2 the count. Price, the second baseman from Cal Poly Pomona, entered this game hitting 143 with 3 runs batted in. But he's got a hit in each of his last 3 games, despite not having a hit over a course of like 5 or 6. Swinging the bat better as of late, as here he swings and misses, and Garcia has struck out the first 4 batters he's faced. 1 away now in the 6th inning, and the top of the order comes back up. Jacob Ruley and Jake Hicksonbaugh for the rest of this frame. Jacob Ruley, the leadoff hitter for the Blues, playing left field in this game, has grounded out to third and struck out swinging. Looking to end this streak for the Blues, who have struck out 4 times in a row, as this time Garcia spots up on the outside corner, 0-1. Ruley swings and misses here, 0-2. So Garcia has really answered the call after coming in from Connor Kinney, who was dominant in his own right through his first 4 innings. Garcia has just peppered the zone with strikes, looking for strikeout number 5. And he misses high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. One and 2. Garcia into his windup. He delivers, and Ruley strikes out swinging. 5 in a row for Garcia, and there's 2 away here in the 6th.
Batting now number 1, Jake Hicksonbaugh.
Here's Jake Hicksonbaugh with 2 away. Hicksonbaugh, the right fielder from Monterey Peninsula College, has grounded out to third and struck out. Third plate appearance for the freshman as he swings and misses, 0-1. Garcia winds up again and deals and misses high with a fastball, 1-1. Second and final doubleheader of the year after the Blues played one last week. This is the first one at home, and it comes on the final day of the home season. Fans are sticking around here despite the Blues losing. It'll be their last taste of Blues baseball unless the Blues make it all the way to the championship. And they got to get into the playoffs first, and then it might take a win tonight. Unless the Oaks lose and the Blues lose, then it would take not a miracle, but a big turn of events tomorrow. Hicksonbaugh tapped this one back into the glove of Garcia. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Hicksonbaugh trying to break the streak, put something in play. 2-2 count with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And Hicksonbaugh takes strike 3 call. 6 up, 6 down for Garcia. All of them strikeouts. And we're heading to the 7th on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. We welcome you back here to Sinsheimer Stadium at the top of the 7th, and we come bearing good news. The score has gone final at Pershing Park in Santa Barbara. The Foresters cling to their lead, and they beat the Conejo Oaks 4-3. So even if the Blues lose, for the time being heading into tomorrow, their playoff hopes are still alive, no matter the outcome of this game. And it leaves really one of two different scenarios heading into tomorrow. Giovanni Blanchette still out on the hill, by the way, for the Blues. He'll face the top of the order, starting with Bryce Blazer here in the 7th. And Blazer takes a fastball outside, 2 balls and no strikes. So there's only 2 more possible outcomes of this game. If the Blues lose, because Conejo lost tonight, here's the 2-0. It's outside. If the Blues lose, they would go into tomorrow needing a Blues win and an Oaks loss. If the Blues are able to come back down 5 here and win, they would need either a Blues win or an Oaks loss, but not both. And there's a strike on the outside corner from Blanchette. As of right now, the way this game is trending, it looks like the Blues might fall in both games of this doubleheader, which means that the Blues would need the Barons to beat the Oaks, and SLO would need a win of their own against Santa Barbara. This is fouled off the bat of Blazer. 3-2 the count. But the Oaks really have left the door open for the Blues. SLO has not exactly taken advantage with their play here in the doubleheader, but it could have been much worse here for the Blues. The Oaks have not beaten the Foresters yet. Another foul ball. A 3-game series for the Oaks that really all they needed was one win to clinch a playoff spot. With the way that this series has turned out for the Blues, and the Oaks get swept. So no matter what, the Blues alive heading into tomorrow, and that game will decide the postseason. 3 balls, 2 strikes here on Blazer, who has got a walk and a hit. And here he lifts this one foul down the left field line and out of play. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Our thanks to Big Brand Tire for sponsoring our free foul balls.
Blanchette sets and deals, and he misses outside. It's a leadoff walk here to Blazer. So Blazer's got 2 walks. Now he's got the single as well. And Daniel Garotti will come up, a runner at first and nobody out. Garotti, the third baseman from Oregon, steps up to the plate now. He is grounded into a fielder's choice, struck out swinging, and popped out to third. There's a chopper towards second. Darius Price ranges to his left into the hole. He bobbles it, and he throws high to first, and it takes Hansen off the bag. Darius Price loses his footing out in the outfield, and now it's first and second, nobody out. So Garotti reaches on the error by Price, and now Aiden Garcia will come to the plate. 2 runners aboard, nobody out. Blanchette, after walking Blazer, gets the soft piece of contact, but hit in the perfect spot that Price, it would have been a tough play, but not able to make it. And now 2 runners aboard. Aiden Garcia walked in the first, struck out in the third, and flew out to center his last time up. Here he takes outside, 1 ball and no strikes. The Fresno City College commit sets and deals, and that pitch is off the outside corner by just a hair, 2-0. Garcia, the catcher from Golden West, then Reese Chapman, who's on deck. The 2-0 home, and that pitch off the outside corner as well. 3 balls and no strikes. So Blanchette trying to find the zone. His job as a position player pitching is just to throw as many strikes as possible, and got to come in the zone here to Garcia. Blanchette delivers. Garcia taps it down the line foul. 3 balls and 1 strike. The Blues have gotten Matt Mastiangelo warming up in the bullpen. The sidewinding lefty 2-way player from CSU Bakersfield getting loose. And we'll see how far Blanchette can take this team. 3-1. And he misses low. It's a walk and the bases are loaded. A bad guy to load the bases in front of as well. Reese Chapman comes up, leading the CCL South with 21 runs batted in. And a chance to add some more here with Blazer at third, Garotti at second, now Aiden Garcia at first, and nobody out. Chapman takes the first pitch fastball up high, 1-0 the count. The Tennessee center fielder, as we mentioned, 21 runs batted in. He's here in his 18th game after joining the Riptide midseason, and he's been indispensable to their run to a playoff spot that they officially clinched earlier this week. This one flown out of play, 1-1. Not sure where the Riptide would be without this huge outfielder. Best high school prospect coming out of Colorado by perfect game. A .263 average with 2 home runs, 7 runs knocked in as a freshman at Tennessee. And here he takes the fastball for a strike. It's 1-2. Oh, 1-2. Chapman pops it up. A left side. Into the outfield, Sam DiCarlo a long run. It's Jacob Bruley, the left fielder, who makes the catch. No tag from anyone on the base pass for the Riptide, so a non-productive out, and there's one away. Chapman is 0 for 3, and now the batter Connor McGuire comes up. The second baseman from Cal Baptist has a single, a strikeout, and a flyout. Blanchette needs just 2 more to get through the 7th inning as Massiangelo continues to warm up. And Connor McGuire, who knocked in the first 2 runs of this game, takes the ball outside, 1-0. McGuire leads the Riptide in runs, hits, and batting average. An over 5 day yesterday, but a big hit in the first, and here he tags one out to center, sends Jariah Lewis backwards, but he makes the catch. 2 runners tag up, coming in to score Bryce Blazer, Garrotti on to third. It's a sacrifice fly for Connor McGuire, who picks up RBI number 3 on the day, and it's 6-0. Blanchette gets out number 2, but another run across for the Riptide, and now the batter will be Ethan Felix. Felix has walked his last 2 times up and scored 2 runs. After going 3 for 4 in game 1, he's 0 for 1 today in the second game, but he has walked twice. So he takes a fastball here on the outside corner, 0-1. It's Garrotti at third, Garcia at first. 1 run across here in the frame, but Blanchette is an out away from getting out of things. The 0-1, and that pitch is on the outside corner again. No balls and 2 strikes. Blues will have Lewis, Spear, Hansen due up in the bottom of the 7th inning. And right now it is a 6-0 game. Gio sets at the belt, and the righty deals, and that's popped up. Right side of the infield in foul territory. Hansen over, he keeps tracking the ball, and he makes the catch. So Blanchette had the bases loaded, nobody out, only gives up the 1 run as we head to the bottom of the 7th. 6-0 our score here on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Blues coming back up here in the 7th inning. A 6-0 lead for the Riptide, and it's the heart of the order for San Luis Obispo. Jariah Lewis, Matt Spear, Jason Hansen against Brett Garcia. Garcia has gone 6 up, 6 down with 6 strikeouts since entering from the pen. And now Jariah Lewis looking to break the streak. 0 for 2 today, a strikeout of his own and a fly out to right field. The 1-0 offering. Lewis swings and misses. 1-1 the count. One offering. Lewis swings and misses again. 1-2 the count. Just an unprecedented amount of swing and misses. The Blues really aren't even fouling many pitches off from Garcia, and they've struck out in 6 consecutive at-bats. The 1-2 home. And Lewis takes strike 3 call. 7 in a row for Garcia, and there's one away here in the 7th inning. So Zach Tollerman comes to the plate, or rather Matt Spear. The left-handed hitting catcher doubled his last time up. He's 1 for 2 today, also a ground out back to the pitcher. First pitch here to Spear, and Spear swings and misses. No balls and 1 strike. It's Spear, then Hansen after Lewis K to start this inning. 1 away in the 7th inning. Garcia from the windup deals, and Spear takes the curveball low. 1-1. Here's the 1-1 offering, and Spear shoots it foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. The Blues' birthday today, it has not been a successful one, but definitely one to celebrate. The Blues turned 77 years old today. A ridiculous achievement by everyone that's run the team, as Spear flies it again. Summer teams, they ebb and flow. Some have to shut down for some time, so it's a real testament to the way that the Blues are run, that they have been able to stay afloat for so long, be so successful, and dominate the sports scene in the summer in the city. Now Spear rolls it on the ground. Not a strikeout, but a ground out to second as McGuire comes up with it and throws to first. So the streak ends at 7 for Brett Garcia, but he has still retired the first 8 that he has faced. Now 2 outs in the 7th. And I think that might be the end of the day for Garcia. Coach coming out of the dugout. I guess all they needed to see was for him to retire a hitter not via the strikeout. But Garcia's night ends. He faced 8 batters. He got all 8 of them out, and he had 7 unbelievable strikeouts. And he will exit with the Riptide still up by 6 here on the SLO Blues streaming network. With 2 outs in the 7th inning, a new right-handed arm into the game for the Riptide. It is Brennan Farber, the righty from Lewis and Clark State College. He'll be a junior there next year. Stands 6'6", 175 pounds, and he's tasked with getting the last out here in the 7th inning. He'll face Jason Hansen trying to do so. Hansen's 0 for 2 with a flyout and a ground out to third, and he's behind the count 0-1 after a fastball in the outside corner. Brett Garcia, maybe the most dominant outing we have seen from anyone, especially a reliever so far against the Blues this season. He faced 8 batters, struck out 7 of them, and then got speared a ground out as the 8th before being removed. 2 2/3 perfect innings with 7 Ks. 0-2 the count here on Jason Hansen as Farber stares in for his sign from Garcia and comes set. The righty kicks and fires. And Hansen able to catch a piece, fouls it off the arm of Garcia. Still no balls and 2 strikes. So Garcia takes a long walk with Farber, walking off the foul ball off of his unprotected right arm. And now he'll head back behind the plate. Seems to be all right. Farber sets. Here's his 0-2. And Hansen catches a piece again, fouls it over the on-deck circle. No balls and 2 strikes. This is the only active game here in CCL play, with the Oaks losing to the Foresters and the Saints beating the Barons. This game, the last one that has yet to conclude. 0-2. Hansen strikes out swinging. So Farber comes in, picks up right where Garcia left off, and that is the end of the 7th. Heading to the 8th, it is still 6-0 on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Well, Giovanni Blanchette continues to be a workhorse here for the Blues on the Hill. The right fielder for St. Mary's and now Fresno City College is still out on the Hill for his 3rd consecutive inning of work. He'll face Ethan Felix, Carey Arboleda, Grant MacArthur, with the Blues losing 6-0 here in the top of the 8th. First pitch here to Felix is a changeup that misses high. 1 ball and no strikes.
Batting now for the Riptide, Carey Arboleda.
Arboleda, 2 strikeouts in today's game, as well as a ground out, and he takes a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Arboleda swings here and lines it straight back. A 1-2 count. The Blues, I guess they have thrown in the white flag, or waving the white flag, thrown in the white towel. Mix those two up a little bit. Keeping Giovanni Blanchette out here in a game that the Blues just have not been able to get the offense going. Really on a day they haven't been able to get the offense going. And they seem content with just trying to bring some offense tomorrow as this game seems to be over. There's a base hit for Arboleda, who lines it back up the middle. So runner at first with nobody out. To put into context the struggles that the Blues have had so far in this game, and rather, or as a whole really, today, in the 14 innings that they've been up to the plate on offense, they have struck out 25 times. And that is on the whole day so far, and they've got 2 more to go, but the Riptide arms have really shown up today. A big reason why the Riptide are close to coming up with this doubleheader sweep. Here's a fastball in the outside corner to Grant MacArthur for a strike. It's 0-1. MacArthur has back-to-back singles. He's also struck out. He's 2 for 3. Blanchette sets to the belt from the stretch he deals, and he misses low with the fastball. 1-1 the count. Here's the 1-1, and MacArthur lifts it foul down the right field side. 1-2 the count. So it seems as if the Blues will end up losing this one. They will have lost both legs of this doubleheader and put themselves in a bit of a predicament tomorrow. It'll be a tough job for the Blues if they still want to make the playoffs, and some of it will be out of their control. 0-1-2, MacArthur lines it straight back. The Blues will be traveling down to Santa Barbara to play the Foresters at Pershing Park. That game will start for the Blues 2:05 p.m. They will also need to be paying attention to the Academy Barons at the Conejo Oaks, a game that starts at 1 p.m. As 0-1-2, MacArthur swings, hits a high fly ball deep to center. In the park, though, as Jariah Lewis moves over to his right, and he collects out number 1. So the Blues start at 2. They need a win in that one. That's non-negotiable. As well as, even if they win, they will still need the Conejo Oaks to lose to the Academy Barons. So 2 things will need to go right for the Blues, assuming they end up losing this one. Can't happen without both. Even if it's just one or the other, the Blues won't make the playoffs because they'll still be tied with the Oaks and not have the tiebreaker. They'll need to finish a game up on Conejo, so they would need a win and an Oaks loss. It's fastball there on the inside corner, 0-1 to Cooper Dulick, the shortstop from Creighton. And the Barons, who lost today, 8-26 on the season. They've lost 3 in a row, and only 8 wins. The Blues will need one from them tomorrow. Here a grounder to short, taken to the bag by DiCarlo. His throw a little wide to first, and it gets by Jason Hansen. Dulick will stop at the first base bag, a fielder's choice, and then a throwing error. 2 away, and still a runner at first. Back to the top of the order we go for the Orange County Riptide. It's Bryce Blazer who comes up now. Blazer has reached base 3 times in this game, 2 walks and a single. He's also scored 2 runs. The only time he's been retired is when he struck out in the second. First time facing Giovanni Blanchette, who's working his 3rd consecutive inning, and Blazer takes a fastball off the plate outside. 1 ball and no strikes. 2 runs in the first inning for the Riptide. Individual runs now in the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th to make it a 6-0 lead. And Blazer takes a fastball here on the plate on the outside corner. 1-1 the count. First game in this doubleheader earlier today, a 7-inning affair with the Riptide winning 5-2. The second game plays to 9 innings. So the Blues still have a couple more innings to go here. They've got to just buy time and try and maybe find a little bit of momentum to carry into tomorrow. But as we mentioned, because the Blues right now are going to be swept in today's series, this one's fouled off, they will not completely control their own destiny. They will need to win themselves and have a little bit of luck come their way hoping that the Barons can grab a win against the Oaks in the final regular season game for the Academy in 2023. The 2-2 home, and Blazer shoots it down the line, ranging towards the left field line. Jacob Rulli watches it fall out of play. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. And of course, you never want to assume that teams have given up at any point of the season, but the Barons, far eliminated from playoff contention. They've played the Blues very well, but they've lost their last 3 games. Really, playoff picture-wise, and anything other than pride, they don't have much to play for tomorrow, but the Blues need to hope that they show up and they're able to find a way to, at the Oaks' own stadium, take a win away from Conejo, and then the Blues will need to handle business themselves and beat the Foresters. 3-2 the count, 2 outs. The runner at first is Kerry Arboleda. He takes off, a swing and a fly ball into center. Jariah Lewis comes in towards the gap. He's still running, and he just makes the catch over the head of Hicksonbaugh in right. Blanchette works a scoreless inning. We're heading to the bottom half of the 8th here on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Just a couple more chances here for the Blues in the home finale in front of the Sinsheimer faithful. The Blues trail it by 6, and we're here in the bottom of the 8th inning. It'll be Sam DiCarlo, Zach Tollerman, Cody Darcy here on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Brennan Farber stays on the hill for the Orange County Riptide, a 6-0 lead for OC. And so far in this game, DiCarlo has popped out and struck out. Takes a slider here for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 offering. DiCarlo takes the slider off the plate outside. 1-1. So DiCarlo, Tollerman, Darcy due up. And Blues still only have 2 hits in this game. They've struck out a total of 12 times, including 7 of the last 8. 1-1. And that one is on the outside corner. Another strike. Well, I stand corrected. It is, I believe, 8 of the last 9 Blues have struck out. And they have struck out 25 times so far across the 14 innings played on this game on offense so far. 1-2. And DiCarlo taps it off of the catcher, Garcia. So 25 strikeouts split across 2 games so far. The first game went 7 innings, and the Blues struck out 13 times. And so far, through the first 7+ innings of this one, the Blues have 12 strikeouts. Farber sets the belt. Well, the righty delivers, and DiCarlo shoots it foul the other way. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Matt Massiangelo warms up again in the Blues bullpen. Chances are we see him in the 9th inning. Giovanni Blanchette has actually worked a pretty solid set of 3 innings. Now Farber steps off, readjusts, right back on the hill. A 1-2 count with nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th. The 1-2 home. That fastball a little high and off the plate outside. 2-2. Farber wanted strike 3, but he's got to readjust. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes on the Blues 6-hole hitter, Sam DiCarlo. Farber throws, and DiCarlo stays alive, just gets a piece. Still 2-2. Two-two. DiCarlo takes it outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Zach Tollerman waits on deck. DiCarlo trying to be the first base runner for the Blues since Matt Spear doubled in the 4th. Here's the payoff, and DiCarlo takes strike 3 call. Fastball right down the heart of the plate. It is 9 of the last 10 batters for the Blues who have struck out, and there is 1 away here in the 8th.
Batting down number 5, the designated hitter, Zach Tollerman. But first, a word from our sponsor. Some of the folks that make Blues baseball possible on the Central Coast include Bottle Craft SLO, Brightside Pizza, California.
The coach coming out here to grab Farber out of the third base dugout, and it seems like that might be the end of the day for the tall right-hander. He came in and got 3 straight batters out, but I guess it's just the 1 inning for Farber. A new arm emerging out of the pen, lefty coming out, and we'll step away here in the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th, 1 away, and a new lefty into the game for the Orange County Riptide, it's Ryan Hernandez, who's got a 6.43 ERA across 7 innings so far. 9 hits allowed in 8 appearances. Also 9 strikeouts to just 2 walks. The Blues have had 9 of their last 10 hitters come to the plate and go down on strikes. And Hernandez comes in with 1 away in the 8th inning. He'll face Zach Tollerman and Cody Darcy due up. So now this is really just tune-up for the Orange County Riptide. We mentioned earlier this week they have clinched their spot in the CCL playoffs. And now with the Arroyo Seco Saints winning today, it is a given now for the Riptide that they are automatically and indefinitely the 2 seed in the postseason. So they will be playing in round 1 on August 1st. They'll have 2 days off because today is their last game. Tomorrow and Monday to wait. And they will see tomorrow who they'll be playing. It will either be the Oaks or the Blues traveling to Irvine to play the Riptide in round 1. Here's Hollerman, swings and misses. No balls and 1 strike. So really the stakes are gone for the Riptide in this game, but they still lead it by a score of 6-0. And they will be the 2 seed in the postseason. And they let that 1 seed slip away over this past week, earned by the Saints, who beat the Barons tonight. As Tollerman hits a shot out to center, ranging over to his left, Reese Chapman, the center fielder, makes the catch for out number 2. With 2 away, now Cody Darcy will step up. Darcy's had a day so far to forget. He is 0 for 6 now between the 2 games combined, with 5 strikeouts and the game-ending pop-out to end the 7-inning Game 1 of this doubleheader earlier today. The lefty Hernandez sets just above the belt. He kicks and deals, and Darcy takes a fastball off the plate outside, 1-0.
Now batting is Cody Darcy.
Even though the Blues trail it by 6, and they lost the first game, they need a big day tomorrow, and so there is still time, especially with the Riptide not playing for anything anymore, to build some momentum. And it's guys like this, Cody Darcy, who's had a tough day today, that the Blues will certainly need to play well tomorrow. A guy like Darcy who can maybe pick up a hit here late in the game and carry that over, give him something positive that he can use to flush out some of the negative that has followed him through today's games. The 1-1. Darcy takes a slider that handcuffs him on the inside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 11 straight retired by Riptide pitching. Darcy looking to break the streak and reach here with 2 outs in the 8th inning. A 1-2 count as Hernandez stares in. Slight bend at the waist. He shakes his sign and now nods to come set. The lefty delivers, and Darcy dribbles it foul off his own foot. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hernandez, the 5'8", 151-pound left-hander, will be a senior this next season at Cal Baptist, a native of La Mirada, California. His 1-2 on the way is off the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Darius Price waits on deck. 9-hole hitter looking for a chance to hit here in the 8th inning. Two. Darcy takes in the dirt. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So a full count with 2 away. Cody Darcy a chance to reach for the first time in this ball game, and even the walks, the little things, can be positives you can carry from day to day. Hernandez set above the waist. He delivers, and Darcy hits a high fly ball into center field. Long run for Chapman, the center fielder. Still going back. It is off the bottom of the wall. And that's bigger than a little thing. Darcy trying to head all the way to third, make it a big. He slides in. He is out. And he knew it right away. So the Blues finally get a hit. They break the streak of 11 straight retired, but they can't get the runner fully on base as Darcy thrown out trying to stretch the double to a triple. But a nice piece of contact for the third baseman from Arkansas State. Certainly something to carry over to tomorrow as we carry this game over into the 9th inning. 1 more frame in front of the home crowd here in 2023. This is a 6-0 ball game on the SLO Blues streaming network. Well, here we go. Ninth inning, the 16th inning played between these two teams today, and a 6-0 lead for the Orange County Riptide. The Riptide will bring up Daniel Garati, Aiden Garcia, and Reese Chapman. And the new pitcher on the hill is Matt Massiangelo for the Blues. And it starts off the ninth inning with a bang to center. Jariah Lewis ranges back on the deep fly ball off the bat of Garati and makes the catch. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Massiangelo. And with 1 away, Aiden Garcia will come up. Massiangelo, the two-way player, formerly from CSU Bakersfield, is in the transfer portal. Pitched and hit this past season at Bakersfield, and he's done a little bit of both so far for the Blues. Mainly a hitter, and one of the best hitters in the CCL South at that. Certainly the best hitting season for the Blues this year. Pitching has been a different story so far, though, for Massiangelo. He has made a couple of appearances, and he's got a 13.5 ERA across 2 innings. Now he faces Aiden Garcia, the Golden West catcher, and Garcia rolls over the first pitch to right field. Into the outfield grass, Darius Price comes up with it and makes the throw for the second out. So 2 pitches, 2 outs for Massiangelo, and now a quick inning maybe at work. Reese Chapman will come up. Orange County's got a long bus ride back to Irvine after this game. Can't imagine them getting back before 2 or 3 a.m. I remember when we had to come back from Irvine after a 2-game series there, the bus didn't get back to SLO, and it was the morning of Father's Day, until 4 a.m. Here's Reese Chapman, the center fielder from Tennessee, and Chapman takes a fastball, take it all the way, 0-1. I would not wish that on my worst enemy, except maybe the Riptide. But I take it back. They will get back very late tonight, but they will, I'm sure, be smiling the whole trip back, well on their way here to a sweep of the doubleheader and officially clinching the 2 seed. Cody Darcy goes for the shortstop on the ground ball, and it bounces into left field. So Chapman has his first hit here of the series, and he's aboard with 2 outs in the 9th inning. So Connor McGuire will come up. A runner at first now and 2 away. McGuire, the second baseman from Cal Baptist, knocked in 2 with a single in the first. Struck out looking in the 4th. Flew out to left in the 5th, and then hit a sacrifice fly in the 7th. First pitch swinging, he lifts this one in the air deep to right. Hicksonbaugh over to his left. He camps under it and makes the 2-hand catch. Heading to the bottom of the 9th, last half inning, last chance for the Blues offense to put on a show in front of the home crowd here in the season of 2023. And we will be back right next on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. last chance for the Blues here in front of the home crowd in the regular season of 2023. It's a 6-0 lead for the Riptide, and they bring in a new pitcher, Nolan George, the new right-hander from UNLV, stands 6'1", 190 pounds, and the Winchester native will try and mow through this bottom half of the order for the Blues. It's Darius Price, the 9-hole hitter, and then the top of the order, Jacob Ruley, and then Jake Hickson-Baugh. George deals, and Price starts the ninth inning out with a line drive into center field. It bounces in towards the center fielder Chapman, and Darius Price aboard with an inning-starting single. So maybe it's too little too late for the Blues, but this is the last chance in front of these home fans to give a little bit of a reward to the Sinsheimer faithful who have shown up this entire season. We were told yesterday, and we haven't gotten official confirmation whether it's happened today, but definitely a team record and SLO Blues forever record of fans showing up in a single season. And we were told the number might officially, with today's doubleheader, cross 40,000 people as Darius Price takes off to second on a ball in dirt. Nearly 40,000 fans have shown up for a total of 32 home games across the summer. Had another 1,800 people here yesterday and a nice double feature crowd here today for the doubleheader. But there's no question that the fans are the real MVP of this home season for the Blues, and they have been here day in, day out, no matter the wins, no matter the losses, to show up in support of this team all season. Swing and a miss here by Ruley, 1-1 the count. 40,000 people, and it's hard to wrap your head around that for a collegiate summer team. That kind of attendance doesn't happen many other places in the entire country. As Darius Price stays high, 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-1 the count on Jacob Ruley. Ruley has struck out twice and grounded out here in Game 2 after going 2 for 4 in Game 1. George kicks and fires, and Ruley wraps one on the ground past the third baseman Garrotti into left field. Darius Price being waved around. The Blues will score a run here in the ninth and give the fans something to cheer about, and listen to that crowd. Deep into the late night with the Blues trailing it by as many as 6 runs throughout this entire game, the fans have stayed to celebrate the Blues, and San Luis Obispo 2 hitters here in the ninth inning. They've scored a run, and the fans just as excited as if this came in the first. So here's Jake Hickson-Baugh after back-to-back hits for the Blues. Jacob Ruley now leads at first in the 6-1 game. Hickson-Baugh swings and misses, no balls and 1 strike. And of course it might not be possible for the Blues to come back in this one, but we were talking about momentum builders, and scoring late runs can carry over to tomorrow. You've now got Darius Price and Jacob Ruley, who have both picked up hits, and they can feel a little bit more confident coming to the plate tomorrow whenever they line up against the Foresters. 1-1 the count here on Hickson-Baugh. 6-1 the score now. Ruley gets his lead off first as George comes set from the stretch. The right-hander delivers, and Hickson-Baugh shoots one the other way. Out of play, though. 1-2 the count.
There's one into the almost empty parking lot thanks to Big Brand Tire for sponsoring.
Hickson-Baugh has struck out twice today and grounded out to third. The Blues as a team have struck out 12 total times here in Game 2. The 1-2 on the way, and Hickson-Baugh leaves the changeup in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hickson-Baugh at the plate, Ruley at first, Jariah Lewis, the center fielder, on deck. Closing in on nearly 6 hours of baseball here today in the 16th inning between these two teams. The 2-2 home. Hickson-Baugh strikes out swinging. So that's out number 1 here in the 9th inning as Hickson-Baugh has his day ended 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. And with 1 away, Jariah Lewis will step up. Lewis 2 strikeouts and a flyout. On the day total, he is 0 for 6 now, 0 for 3 in this game. Comes up with Ruley at first and 1 away. And George, if he can roll a double play, is a pitch away from ending this one. He's just trying to get the final 2 outs and send the Riptide home on their long bus route with smiles across everyone's faces. As this pitch misses outside, 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 home. Lewis takes in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. Tough turn of events here for the Blues. They had a big opportunity, a half game up on Conejo coming into today. Even with the Oaks losing, the Blues, if they had won both of these games today, could have clinched a playoff spot. Even with one, could have put themselves in a big position tomorrow to control their own destiny. Instead, they're on the verge of losing the second game of this 2-game doubleheader. And they will not only need to win tomorrow, they'll need help as well from the Academy Barons over the Oaks. So a missed opportunity here today. But as we've talked about, a chance here late to create some momentum going into tomorrow. 2-1. Lewis takes off the inside corner with the fastball. 3 balls and 1 strike. It's Matt Spear on deck with Ruley at first and Lewis at the plate. Nolan George, the UNLV righty, looks to first. Now comes set. Offsets his front foot and deals and misses outside with a fastball. It's a walk and they're first and second with 1 away. This has been the theme in both games now for the Blues. The offense did not show up really the entire game until the last inning, the 7th in Game 1. And now the offense was non-existent, but they have put a couple base runners on here in the 9th inning. A slow team that loves to make things interesting late in the game. And they've got 2 runners aboard and 1 out. Matt Spear, the batter. Spear has doubled and grounded out twice. He checks his swing, or at least tries to, on a pitch down to the zone. He goes around, no balls and 1 strike. The San Jose State catcher swinging things well as of late. He is now 7 for his last 18. With a home run, a double, 4 runs batted in. On a 5-game hit streak now, and he takes this one on the outside corner, 0-2. George sets the bell, looks to second, and now he brings it home. Matt Spear rolls it on the ground to second. It eats up McGuire, but he stays with it. Goes to second for 1, to first, a double play. And there it is, a doubleheader sweep for the Riptide, who finish out the regular season, winning both games here at Sinsheimer Stadium to improve to a 20-15. As we mentioned, a missed opportunity for the Blues, but all they can do is flush it and leave it in the past. The Blues will head to Santa Barbara tomorrow with a chance to stick in the playoff race. They'll need a win and an Oaks loss. And it can't happen one without the other. The Blues need both, and they will need it to happen in the afternoon. We'll be live tomorrow from Pershing Park in Santa Barbara. A day game starting at 2:05 p.m. and a game that will decide the Blues season. SLO drops to 15-18, or 15-19 rather, and they'll be on the move tomorrow to Santa Barbara in the morning. For everyone that participates in all 16 innings of our broadcast here today, I'm Jack Smith saying thank you for tuning in to the SLO Blues streaming network, and we will see you tomorrow for the final game of the regular season.